From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now, the latest news.
Kylie Conway has the latest news. The top headlines. News you can use.
Please stand by.
Sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling. Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Wednesday, March 3rd. We started off cold in the high 20s, low 30s, but we'll climb nicely with lots of sunshine today. Highs in the mid to upper 50s. And I have to start by giving a profound shout out to our own meteorologist, Randy Ollis, who was on Daybreak for 36 years. And this morning, he delivered his final Daybreak forecast. He will move on to a more limited role. He's going to be doing the weather for our midday newscast at 11 a.m. He'll also show up on Indy Style and on Daybreak from time to time just to lend his dazzling personality and provide some comic relief. But we are going to miss Randy desperately, and we've heard from so many viewers and people who've watched him for the decades he's been on Daybreak, and everyone's just had such amazing and wonderful things to say about him. And what we hear on Daybreak always say is that Randy is who he is. He is genuine. He is kind. And what you see on camera is what you get off camera. And I know that I am personally so grateful that I've been able to share a studio and a workplace environment with him and to become a part of family with him over the last 7 years that I've been a part of Daybreak. We wish Randy well, and we're just glad he's not retiring quite yet. We get to hang on to him at Wish TV for a little bit longer, just in a different capacity. So please wish him well. Go to his Facebook page, go to my Facebook page, and maybe send one of your favorite memories of him or how he's made an impact on your life. And to news now, we have been following some major breaking news this morning from overseas. The U.S. forces report rockets hit an airbase in Iraq hosting American troops. The U.S.-led coalition in Iraq says at least 10 rockets struck Ain al-Assad Air Base about 10 hours ago, 7:20 local time. We don't know if anyone died at this point, but we are waiting on that information. This is an Iraqi military base west of Baghdad. It hosts American troops. It was the same base hit in January of 2020 with no casualties, but dozens of injuries. This attack comes on the heels of a violent back and forth with Iran. Just a week ago, the U.S. struck Iranian-linked military targets along the Iraq-Syria border. About a month before that, Iran hit U.S. troops with rockets in northern Iraq, killing one civilian contractor. U.S. military officials said that exchange was proportional. Iran has also recently repeated its vow to avenge the assassination of a top Iranian general a year ago, Qasem Soleimani. To complicate matters, Pope Francis is scheduled to visit Iraq in 2 days. It's a highly anticipated trip that includes visits to Baghdad and southern Iraq. So far, concerns about his trip were based primarily on COVID-19 exposure, so we'll certainly follow to see what happens with that visit.
This country will have enough vaccine supply, I'll say it again, for every adult in America by the end of May.
And this morning, the Biden administration is moving up the timeline for when everyone can get their COVID-19 vaccine by 2 months. To make it happen, President Biden is working to increase production of doses. The White House brokered a historic partnership with Merck and Johnson & Johnson. The two pharmaceutical giants, who are typically rivals, will be working together to produce the single-shot vaccine. Biden is also pressing states to prioritize vaccinations for educators and school staff.
We want every educator, school staff member, child care worker to receive at least one shot by the end of the month of March.
The president says this will help reopen every school safely and before all teachers are fully vaccinated. And today, Governor Holcomb and the state health department will face questions about vaccines for teachers during their weekly briefing. This morning, it's not known how all of this will play out in Indiana. So far, the state has been prioritizing people most at risk. Teachers say the president's message is part of what they've been waiting for, but they want action here at home. The Indiana State Teachers Association has been asking for educators to be moved up on the Indiana vaccine priority list from the start. That request has been met with pushback from the governor. Right now, people most at risk are Indiana's top priority. President Joe Biden didn't say what authority the federal government will have over states in this process, so it's not clear right now if educators would be able to bypass state guidelines, only that they would be able to sign up through the federal pharmacy program beginning next week. The Indiana State Teachers Association says it's too soon to say how the plan in our state will be, but this is a step in the right direction.
It does take a very big step forward in protecting our students and our educators and getting our students back on track. So they will have to figure out how this will interface with the plan that they already have in progress as well. But I am certain that Indiana can make this happen.
Keith Gamble says the president's March timeline works well with most of Indiana's spring break schedules, hoping teachers are vaccinated before students potentially travel. Already, around 30 states have given teachers vaccination priority. So we expect to learn more from Governor Holcomb about Indiana's plans at today's weekly COVID-19 briefing. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway says we are one shot closer to the finish line. Literally, they're doing a huge campaign with that in big, bold letters. We checked overnight and found that appointments are still available for people eligible to get their COVID-19 vaccine this weekend at IMS. The Speedway is one of 3 mass vaccination sites announced by the state health department. IMS President Doug Bowles says the track is proud to be a part of the state's vaccination efforts.
I hope that it sends a message to folks who are on the fence whether or not they need to get that vaccine, that they can go out and do that. And as leaders in this community, we want to make sure that we're helping.
According to the State Department of Health, preparations are underway to vaccinate a total of 40,000 people between IMS, the mass vaccination site at Ivy Tech Community College in Sellersburg, and the Compton Family Ice Arena at the University of Notre Dame. You do have to register for an appointment just like anywhere else to get that shot. To find out how, visit wishtv.com.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
A new report says Indiana is middle of the pack for helping children in the pandemic. The humanitarian group Save the Children says Minnesota and Utah are doing the best jobs. The report uses census survey numbers to rank states on 3 hardships: hunger, remote learning, and family bills. Louisiana placed 50th, with several southern neighbors nearly as low. Indiana comes in 28th out of 50. Then a county-by-county look in Indiana. It shows Marion County one of the lowest ranked, with several of the counties surrounding it doing better. Boone, Hendricks, and Hancock are in the top 5. We will have to wait a little while longer to see baseball at Victory Field. The Indianapolis Indians season opener is delayed. The commissioner of Major League Baseball is pushing the start date of the AAA season back 4 weeks for health and safety reasons, of course. The league says the extra time will let more players get vaccinated. The Indians' first game is now May 4th in Iowa. The home opener is set for May 11th against Toledo. And high schools are scrambling to deal with athletic department losses in the pandemic. With attendance restricted, income is down sharply from tickets and concessions. Mooresville athletic director tells us department is down about $60,000 this school year. The school district pays for facilities and the coach's stipend, but the athletic department is responsible for most other things like uniforms, equipment, and officials.
We're just going to have to be more careful about some of our purchases along the way. We're going to have to get a little more creative. I think we'll know more as we get into next year how big of a deal it is.
He says one huge help is coming from businesses that have kept up their sponsorships through the difficult times. And the Senate will take up President Biden's COVID-19 relief bill today. This morning, the president's pushing Democrats to rally behind the plan. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is predicting that the Democrats have the votes needed to pass the bill. It includes hundreds of billions of dollars for schools, vaccines, and testing. Senator Todd Young of Indiana says the Democrats put unrelated policies, though, in the bill that are not helping Americans during the pandemic.
Instead of a targeted COVID relief package, We've seen our Democratic leaders load up a $1.9 trillion bill with wish list items. And so here's what I'm going to have to educate Hoosiers on in coming months, because I think they actually believe this is mostly about vaccination and getting kids back to school and getting people back to work, and I wish that were the case.
Democrats want to send a final package to Biden by March 14th. That is when an earlier round of jobless benefits expires.
This new order removes all of our county mask mandates and allows businesses to operate at full capacity.
Mississippi is the newest state to remove COVID-19 restrictions today. The governor says people are encouraged but not ordered to wear a face mask and practice social distancing. The change remains in effect until at least the end of the month. The only rules remaining are capacity limits on indoor arenas and masks in schools. And the state of Texas is opening a week from today, despite guidelines from health experts. Starting March 10th, businesses are allowed to operate at full capacity. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says people have the daily habits to avoid getting COVID. His announcement comes as the CDC warns that easing safety restrictions could risk the progress the country's seeing. This morning, the mayors of Dallas and Houston say they will still continue to encourage mask wearing.
I'm going to still do my job here in the city of Houston. I'm going to do my job. But the people who are vulnerable to this virus, get this virus, may end up in the hospital and may end up dying.
Abbott cited the need to help small business owners struggling to stay afloat and get Texans back working. And now back here at home, pedaling to prevent violence. We're going to learn more this afternoon about a new project aimed to help local neighborhoods by way of mountain biking. It's called Project Gear. IMPD says this is all about building relationships between police and the communities they serve. Project Gear is a mobile mountain bike skills park. It'll be an extension of the headquarters mountain bike park at IMPD's North District headquarters. It was created in 2015 to help keep kids out of trouble. This is also a spot where Indianapolis police host bike safety rodeos at schools and other community events. IMPD says the mobile park will be a resource for young people in neighborhoods across the city. The department hopes it will serve as part of the city's continued community-focused response to areas impacted by violence. Both the headquarters and Project Gear were made possible by community sponsors, including the Indy Public Safety Foundation. The announcement is set for 2:30 this afternoon. It'll be made at the Cliff Bar Baking Company, which is another one of its sponsors. And now to business headlines. Americans can access free weekly credit reports now at annualcreditreport.com during the pandemic. The free report started in April of 2020 and will continue through April of 2022, so next month. Checking your credit report can help you know your score and spot and correct any errors quickly. Customer traffic at Kroger stores fell sharply in January compared with a year ago, but it has started to rebound a bit. Visitors to stores fell in the first week of February, too, down a little more than 1%. This is according to Placer.ai. The theory is that people are sick of cooking at home and eating out at restaurants more often. Lyft said the last week of February was its best week in terms of volume since pandemic lockdowns began. The company expects March to show positive year-over-year growth in ride-sharing volume. Uber has spun off its more unprofitable businesses and made big bets in the food delivery space in an effort to replace revenue lost from ride-sharing. Volvo says it'll make only electric vehicles by 2030, but if you want one, you'll have to buy it online. The Swedish automaker said Tuesday that it's phasing out the production of all cars with internal combustion engines, including hybrids. Its all-electric vehicles will be sold exclusively online. And Disney CEO says movie-going has probably changed forever. He says consumers may not want to wait for movies to run their course at theaters before going to streaming. And so they're saying that, you know what, just get used to some of these things that we've switched to during the pandemic. They're probably sticking around here. And now finally to a little sports story here. An NBA first, actually. An NBA Fort Wayne Mad Ant will be in the All-Star Slam Dunk Contest. So the Mad Ants are the Pacers G League team, right? So whatever the uniform, Cassius Stanley is in the contest. You can find some hype video from the Pacers Twitter page. Stanley is under a two-way contract that lets him spend time on both rosters. He's been with Fort Wayne most of this season. And now Domantas Sabonis is also going to Atlanta. He's in the Skills Challenge before the All-Star game. and he's on the roster to play in the game. It all happens in one day. Skills challenge first, then the first half of the game, then the dunk contest at halftime. This has been your News 8 Daily 8. For Wish TV, I'm Kylie Conway. Online at wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
The News 8 Daily 8 is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast.
The News 8 Daily 8 with Kylie Conway. And be sure to discover even more great podcasts now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.